This is Canada, not India.
Just said out of your own mouth what you said to her. How are you gonna tell me?
You didn't say something.
No, you said she's beautiful. Yes or no?
I said you're looking so good.
Why the fuck would you say that?
I'm sorry for that because we just.
You please get this.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? Your wife comes to the store.
Yeah, but
Wants to pick up a freaking sandwich.
yeah, but
Is she crazy?
Yeah.
That she sits through these fucking compliments, these fucking creeps?
He just give us a compliment.
Why?
They made a mistake.
This is not your fucking country. This is not India or something, dude.
What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel, and I have a question to ask you. Have you ever felt like the city you grew up in is slowly but surely changing in ways you can't quite put your fingers on? Like a place you once knew is now filled with new faces, new sounds and new challenges. That's the question many Canadians are grappling with right now, and it's at the heart of a phenomenon being called the Indian fatigue. It's a term that's sparking a lot of debate and a lot of tension, but what does it really mean? In our today's video, we're going to be talking about this topic, and we'll explore the reasons behind the rising social tension, from the massive influx of Indian immigrants to the feeling of an overcrowded reality in Canada. We'll look at how this shift is impacting everything from the housing market to job competition and even cultural identity. Is this fatigue a legitimate concern, or is it a mask for deeper economic anxieties that have nothing to do with the immigration itself? We'll hear from both sides and get to the bottom of this complex issue. But before you get into it, do me a favor. If you find this video insightful, please hit that like button. Sharing it with others helps us reach more people and spread the discussion. Also, I want to hear what you think, so leave a comment down below with your thoughts and experiences. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our next uploads. Now let us watch some clips that shed some light on this situation, and I'll be back to break down everything with you guys.
Prestigious building. We do not have food deliveries here.
Then where do we eat?
We go out, we get our own food, or we go to a restaurant.
But some people, just stay at home and they need food, so they ask us to deliver the food. So I'm just doing my job, I'm delivering the food.
Who are you delivering to?
I cannot tell you.
Why?
It's none of your business.
How do we know we can trust you?
What do you mean how you can trust me? I'm just doing my job, ma'am. Okay, I have to deliver other foods as well. Just let me.
Coming inside my building?
I can. I have the code as well. He
Who gave you the code?
The person who ordered the food.
Well, I don't know. I don't think this is right. I'm going to call the police.
What do you mean going to call the police?
You could be anybody. You could be a burglar.
I'm not a man, I'm just delivering the food. Come on. This is you're being very unreasonable about this.
Well, I wouldn't give anyone my code.
Yeah, but he did.
Oh, I don't know. We never used to have this in the past. People just coming into our building.
Yeah, but now you are in present. So,
Well,
it's fine. People give the code.
that's very worrying.
That's not worrying.
Well, it's worrying to me.
Yeah, so you can go home and worry there. Just, let me do my job, please.
Well, I'm going to put a note round on the residents committee.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think we should be allowing this.
And you do whatever you want to do. I'll do whatever I want to do, because this is my job to deliver the food here.
Well, funny job if you ask me.
The fact is that they're all Indians.
Stop being racist.
Why did they all get jobs, and why did they?
Because you guys don't work. That's why we get the jobs.
What? Say that again.
Yeah, now you won't understand anything. Why are you being racist?
I'm not racist.
Why are there so many Indians in Canada? What am I missing here? Can somebody please explain why the f*** there's so many Indians here? Please. I gotta understand why. Please tell me. Please. Can somebody please explain?
Guys, when you land at Pearson Airport in Canada, you literally think you landed in New Delhi. Next time you land at Pearson's, pay attention. You'll realize that majority of the workers are Indian, right? It's like an 80-20 ratio. Like 80% of the workers at Pearson's Airport, scanning your body and freaking doing all that stuff at the check-in and check-out are Indian. Not only that, the workers are Indian, but the whole airport demographic is Indian too. Genuinely pay attention. If you want an honest answer, I'd say for every 10 people, there's like 6 to 7 Indian people. So I don't know what's happening to this country, but it does not feel like you landed back in Canada. It literally feels like you landed somewhere in the middle of nowhere in India.
I can't wait till all those Indians go back home, because then all you Canadians will actually have no one left to blame. Because then you'll realize that all these things that you're actually blaming these students for, lack of housing, lack of jobs, cost of living, inflation, you having no sex life, actually wasn't their fault at all. It actually was the fault of a federal government who literally continues to favor billionaire corporations and doesn't make them pay their fair share. It actually was the fault of people like Doe Ford bleeding out the healthcare system, continuing to prop up their developer buddies without building affordable housing, of government programs that colleges and governments and shady recruiters all took advantage of, and that the vast majority of these kids were just hard-working students who were actually propping up our economy, working their asses off, and getting treated like absolute shit in some of the most disgusting racism I have ever seen, stoked by far-right online hate groups, and that this country is actually going to be worse off for the way we have treated them and for making this place so inhospitable for so many of them.
Good people, welcome back. I hope those clips gave you a lot to think about. The narrative around Indian fatigue is a raw and a complex one, and as you can see, it's not a simple issue. It touches on economics, housing, and the very fabric of social cohesion in Canada. It is a conversation that's been bubbling under the surface, but it is now front and center. Let's start with the economic side of things. It's a fact that Indian migration has made an undeniable contribution to Canada's economy. We are talking about tens of thousands of Indian students and skilled workers arriving every single year to contribute to the Canadian economy. They are not just filling classrooms, they are propping up vital sectors of the Canadian society. And think about technology, healthcare, logistics, and small businesses. Many of these fields will struggle without their contributions. They are as the clips mentioned, hardworking individuals who are a huge part of what keeps the Canadian economy growing. However, the very success and sheer scale of this migration have created a paradox. It's led to a backlash where some Canadians are pointing fingers not just at the newcomers, but at the government itself. Okay, they argue that the federal government is favoring billionaire corporations and failing to make them pay their fair share, while provincial governments are being blamed for a depleted healthcare system and lack of affordable housing program. This suggests that the frustration is not just about immigration, but about a broader feeling of being left behind by a system that seems to work for everyone except the average Canadian people. Government programs and colleges are also under fire for allegedly taking advantage of these very students, which adds another layer of complexity. Now, let's talk about the housing crisis, which is a major driver of this fatigue. Now, the influx of international students has placed immense pressure on an already strained housing market. The demand has driven rents sky high, and many Canadians are expressing difficulty finding affordable rentals in their own home. There is a widespread perception that landlords often prefer to rent groups of Indian students who can pool their resources and split the cost, making it even harder for local families or individuals to secure a place to live. This competition creates a real sense of displacement and frustration. This brings us to the core of the issue: social cohesion and the feeling of Indian fatigue. This is not just about the numbers or a chart. It is the silent tension that's being felt in the workplaces, in the classrooms, in the neighborhoods. It goes beyond simple immigration statistics, and it touches deeply on personal issues of cultural identity and the future of Canadian diversity. There is a growing sense among some Canadians that their cities are experiencing an overwhelming cultural shift. The pace and scale of this migration have been so rapid that even those who have long championed multiculturalism are starting to voice concerns about a feeling of saturation and a loss of balance. This is not just a handful of people. It is a feeling that's becoming more and more common. This tension manifests in some truly uncomfortable ways, and the clips highlighted how some Canadians feel that classrooms are filled with a majority of Indian students and the job market feels tight or titled due to increased competition. There is also a number of heartbreaking stories from Indians in Canada who feel they are unfairly stereotyped and reduced to numbers. They are the target of what is described as disgusting racism, with people making derogatory remarks like "this is Canada, not India," or openly questioning why there are so many Indians in Canada. And the perception is that the demographic at places like Pearson Airport is overwhelmingly Indian, which for some is a visual confirmation of the massive cultural shift they feel is happening. For many, this is more than just a feeling, it's a reality. The 2021 census shows that there were over 1.3 million people of Indian origin living in Canada, with recent immigration trends seeing a significant increase, particularly among students. In 2022, Canada welcomed over 225,000 Indian students, making up nearly 40% of all international students. However, it is important to consider that some argue Indian fatigue narrative might be a distraction from deeper societal issues. The source material suggested that it could be masking deeper anxieties such as economic inequality and the housing crisis, which are problems that predate the recent immigration surge. The resentment might not be directed at the immigrants themselves, but at a sense of losing cultural identity and the feeling that newcomers seem to be thriving while locals feel displaced and struggling. The conversation we are having today is a warning. If these pressure points are ignored, the current resentment could harden into something much uglier. Cultural divisions, discrimination, or even a shift in policy that could fracture Canada's multicultural dream. The dialogue around Indian fatigue is a sign that Canada as a country is at a crucial juncture, grappling with its identity, its resources, and its values. It is a testament to the fact that while immigration is a powerful economic engine, it is also it also needs to be managed in a way that protects the social fabric and addresses the legitimate concerns of all Canadians, both new and old. The success of Canada's multiculturalism depends on it. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. What do you think about it? Tell me down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and most importantly, turn on post notifications that every time I post a new video you don't miss out. Guys, how to see my next video.